What's going on, people? Welcome on into the Put It in the Book show, home of the show where we talk about the New York Mets and their 8-4 start to the season. Nice little start to the season for the Mets and their fans. We'll get into a whole lot more.
Hey, why am I here?
I was gonna say, is there some buoyancy in the beard that he floated up there? What happened?
That's better. No, the beard keeps me grounded. Trust me.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, well, so all right, so we'll get into the Mets start, what's been going on with them, but first, as always, round the horn here. What's going on, fellas? Keith, how's it hanging? The apple back there knocked up as ever.
Fantastic. I mean, today was miserable, and I was miserable through the whole game, but fantastic. I mean, we're 8-4. We're looking really good. Pitching's doing really well. Hitting will come around. I can't wait to see what the season's going to look like. Let's go Mets.
Sounded like more like an end of the show thing you did there.
It was because
it at the end of the show.
It's because the Wave felt like the end of the season, and I want to DFA everybody and trade Baty. But I'm keeping my patience and using that as my opener.
Yeah. 12 games in. 12 games in. He's impatient.
First of all, patience. Okay. Patience and Keith have never been spoken.
They've never been friends.
Well, I'm being patient with you right now, mother.
All right. Rodriguez, what's going on, sir? How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. We're going to have a good show. We're going to talk about the winning Mets, the Mets that have an 8-4 record and are lucky to have it. And we're going to have a good time, even in spite of.
Talking about me. It's spite. Yes, we're going to do that. I thought it was going to be in spite of not having producer Joe. I thought that was like.
I want to ask you instead of how you ask us. Now I have to ask you. How are you doing, Steve?
Shitty.
Well, at least you look it.
Oh, but Keith, that was such a sweet moment. You took the time out to ask me how I was doing.
It was. And
I've been asking you guys for 8 years how you guys are doing. They're going to ask me how
and you
I'm
finally
doing.
Figured out that we don't care to ask back, right? You figured it out finally. Stop begging.
That note, let's get this bad boy started. Why don't we?
Put up the box.
All right, Pete. Yes, sir. 2024 postseason, baby. That NLCS. We played games in the National League Championship Series last year. All right, let's get it front and center. Mets started off the season 8-4 over the first 12 games. 5-1 homestand. All good things, right? Lineup might be a little top heavy right now. And one thing I want to point out: both our ERA. Timmy, what's up, sir? Both the Mets ERA and their batting average exactly the same heading into today at a not like a 286. That would be nice. 290, no, 210. But all that being said, 210 batting average. I think during the homestand was a little bit more timely hitting. They had the 10-run game against the Marlins, beat the Blue Jays. That really nice roster there held them to 3 runs in 3 games. So mixed bag as far as the departments within the Mets are concerned. But an 8-4 start, Rodriguez. I think we all take that, right?
You can't complain after 8-4. I mean you can always complain about something, and being a Met fan, that's kind of your first thing to do. But let's just consider the reality of how anemic our offense has been. It's been an offensive offense. So let's be honest. luckily our bullpen and our starters have picked up the slack, and they've held teams in check, and they've kept us going at to an 8-4 record, because we we only have one or two guys actually hitting the ball, and that's why we get shut out 5-0 by the Marlins, and we're beating teams 2-1 and 3-2. But I'm a pitching guy, and if this is the pitching that we can get for right now, it's fantastic. You know how much I hate. Well, let me not say hate. You know how much I did not like our old pitching coach's style and the way he was doing things, and now I can't say enough good things about him. And I think it's kind of due to Carlos Mendoza making him be a man and accountable for being the pitching coach. I don't think the other guys did. And now he's accountable and things are working. And, just to be a little general, not get too in depth here, but we have a pretty good bunch of guys shoving the ball there.
Yep.
We do.
Yes, Keith.
Yeah.
Moving over to you, sir. Big difference between, we were talking in the chat today, right? Acuña not hitting, making impact on the base when he gets on base with his speed. Baty completely looks lost up there. Vientos having some better at bats in the last few games. Contrasting that to the top of the lineup, Lindor. Thankfully, this is not last year. Gotten off to a much better start than last year. And then you got Soto and Pete. Nimmo's average not there, but got a couple home runs, driven in some guys in key spots. Big Pete, can't say much more about him. He's been off to a sizzling, scorching start. But big difference between the two, right, Keith?
Yeah, a huge difference. So, like Lindor, for me, he has really applied himself and made a huge effort to make sure he gets off to a better start than last year. And he has been first few games, of course, he wasn't doing too well, but he, in my opinion, has really turned it around. And I don't feel that early season slump.
It's back here somewhere right now. It's
What's
here
that?
right now. Like it's back. It's in the back of our mind because we're Met fans. But
yeah,
at least it's not here.
He seems to really be past that. Then you got Soto. I mean, listen, Soto's been on base every game. Soto has been doing a pretty good job at the plate, but he's not providing the impact that we expect him to do. But we're 11 games in or 12 games in, so it'll happen. Alonso, nothing
There's nobody
to say
on
there.
base.
Well, he's on base all the time, but when I say impact, I mean hard line drives, home runs, driving runs in. He's scoring runs. He's doing great. I didn't say anything negative about him. I'm just saying I think, including myself, most of my fans expected more of an impact, but you can't really judge 12 games. He's on base every single game of the season so far. How many players have done that in Major League Baseball? You tell me.
A lot.
Alonso, right? Not a lot. So I mean, he's doing a great job, and everything else will come in. Alonso, nothing much to say. We all know he's doing great. Nimmo, he really needs to pick it up. Vientos really needs to pick it up. I will say for Vientos that he has been walking a lot in the last few games, which means he's seeing the ball a lot better. I hope that's what it should mean. Which also means he should be able to start getting better swings on the ball. Let's see. He has some really good hits. The exit velo has been really good on some of his hits. And I take a real positive on the fact that he's seeing the pitches really well and getting some walks. The bottom of the lineup, I'm disgusted. I'm freaking disgusted.
Hey, Senger.
Senger has some good games, but I'm just disgusted. I mean, from 4 down, it's been so lacking. I'll say.
But we saw yesterday. I think that we saw a little glimpse in that 10-5 win. I think we saw a glimpse where I kind of mentioned in the chat. You get a couple of guys on no matter how at the bottom of the lineup, and then that pitcher in his mind has to face Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo.
But they need to get on. Yeah, I agree.
Like just like shitting your pants at that point.
Listen, disclaimer. I fully believe that everybody's going to start clicking at some point, but they're just not right now, and it looks really ugly. The top of the lineup is clicking, first three, but the rest need to pick up the game a bit offensively. There's been some weather issues, some crazy wind issues, because we know how Shea was. Well, City's not too different in terms of the wind and how it blows in circles around the stadium. It's been really cold in New York. So we'll give a little leeway, and the season just started, only 12 games. But they really do need to pick it up going forward.
And so we talked about this, but I'm going to jump ship here just a second, then we'll get back on. But we talked about, in spring training about what Steve Cohen had to say about some of the crowds that he saw last year. That especially that was the National Series or something like that, where the Pirates were, it was in September. We averaged like 18,000 a game for the 3-game set. Hey, Madeline. Hey, George. And so he kind of like challenged the fans at the beginning of the season, and they, through the freezing cold yesterday, I cannot even imagine 26,000 people having nothing better to do with their lives than be at Citi Field on a freezing ass cold night. So Rodriguez, you think the fans heard it, and they're bringing it every chance they get, even.
Listen, hey, Madeline, George, what's up? Couple of things. They don't have to hear it. He did what he had to do. He brought in Juan Soto. Well, fans are there because the players are there. The fans are there because they expect the team to win. Fans don't come to see a losing team. Fans don't come to see a team that's not competitive. Steve Cohen doesn't have to say a word about anything. All he has to do is produce. And as the owner, he has the money to produce. So he produces the players, put them on the field. The fans will come. It's that simple. When you take away Soto, and let's all be real here, because we hear the other team always belly aching and complaining and is still being really upset. When you take away Soto from the Skankies, with all due respect, Tim, you're a good guy, but the Skankies, when you take them away from the Skankies and the Skankies are butthurt, the Met fans are going to love that even more. It's just an added bonus to take a guy away from the other team. And when you have the players out there, the fans are going to show up and they're going to be happy. You have Lindor coming up to his song, and as the song is ending, the fans start singing with him.
I love that.
I mean, that's fantastic. You got Diaz with his trumpet.
By the way, they made fun of Lindor a little bit with his walk-up song on the Marlins broadcast. And you know who made fun? That stupid doofus Jeff Nelson.
Frecklehead?
They were like,
yeah,
is that him? He was like,
face?
what? Yeah, douche. And they were like, my girl. Oh, like that would be that would be a chosen song back from your day.
Farace, listen to this. Then the Marlin announcers say, "Oh, it's a really cold day. The ball's not gonna be traveling out of here." What happens then? Lindor says, "Oh, you're gonna make fun of my song, and you're gonna make fun of the fact that I can't hit it out." Boom, there you go. Enjoy that. Shove that up your.
You know who Jeff Nelson is? He's the neighbor when you're having fun on a Friday night that calls the cops at 10 o'clock for a noise ordinance.
He's the guy. He's the guy. He's just waiting for 10 o'clock to do it.
And if I can just kind of rewind for a second back to my lineup situation with Soto, the fact that he's not getting those big impactful hits, let me just also add that has a lot to do with the fact that Pete's behind him. So they're not sure what to do. Do I pitch to Soto? Pete's hot. Our top of the lineup is really, really confusing pitchers of the opposing teams. And now that all three of them are performing in one way or another, it's really fun to watch. Nimmo needs to wake up. That's the only issue. If Nimmo starts hitting, that top three will be completely unpitchable. Is that a word?
Unpitchable. Yeah, they just made it.
And
Nemo's not a bottom. Nemo's not a middle of the order guy. They had him there when he was younger, and he couldn't handle it. And I don't know, unless all of a sudden he develops into a just a home run guy with 25 to 30 home run power and just drives the ball. He's a guy that gets on base, does a lot of walks, and slaps the ball. And occasionally on a pitching mistake, or when he's geared up, he'll try to hit a home run. But it's a shame that Soto wants Pete behind him, because if Soto didn't want that, Pete would not be batting behind him. That's the reason Pete behind him, because Soto said, I want somebody behind me. I want somebody to be able to drive when I'm on base. I want somebody to get me home. And it would be fantastic to have Lindor, then Nimmo, then Soto, then Pete. But that's how I would go. I would move everybody back just an inch, just notch them down a little bit, because
Vientos' slump, I think, is really hurting this lineup a little bit, because if Vientos would be the Vientos of last year and you put him fourth, this lineup would look way different.
He's basically a rookie, though, guys. I mean, you're gonna put him fourth. I mean, he had a good year, but you got to remember, he's a sophomore. Basically, it's his second real full year. So
he's got adjustments to make.
Just enjoy the fact that when he hits the ball, he's driving it, and those hits fall. After a while, they'll end up falling. Right now, they're not, because he's hitting the mat people at, like you said, Keith, 113 miles an hour. He's hitting the daylights out of them, but he's hitting the mat people. So eventually,
and the last few games,
going to be there.
He's had really good pitch selection with his walks. And to
that's
me, that
part of the
means
growing up. Yeah.
That means eventually he's going to start hitting, because he's
100%,
seeing the ball better. Yeah.
He's a run producer. He's an RBI guy. So once he's a big dude with a lot of power. And Keith, you and I remember that when he first came up, we talked him up and we said, this guy can do it. This guy, and he can do it, but he needs.
And he's only gotten better. I mean, aside from his start this year, but 12 games.
Needs time.
12 games.
Yeah, 12 games.
Throughout the season, every player has 12 games where they just suck. So let's just hope that this is his 12 games for now, and he's going to start picking it up. And it seems like he has. So I believe in him.
He's a starter. So keep him in the lineup. I know Mendoza likes to keep guys in lineups, and he won't take them out unless he absolutely has to. So unless Vientos bats 0-90 like other guys on the squad that had their chance to take a position and just blowing it, we're going to end up with the golfer back. I thought we could get rid of the golfer. I thought for we were going to.
You love the golfer. Deep down,
I do.
You love the golfer.
I really do.
Is his name Dom Baty?
He pisses me off.
Dom Baty.
Dom Baty. Well, let's move that route, because there's a couple of guys who are injured. 3 guys that are out injured that are making their slow returns. Hey Ma, Alvarez and McNeil both going out on rehab assignments. I think both starting tonight. I know this week. I know Alvarez is starting tonight. So that's very promising from a catching standpoint. And then McNeil, based on the start that Baty has gotten off to, it's just an opportunity that he's just blowing right again. This will be the second year in a row he's blowing.
Acuña too. Don't forget.
Yeah, and I think Acuña actually deserves some more playing time over Baty right now, because Acuña, if he dunks winning like he did last night, he's on third base in a blink of an eye.
To the races, yeah.
I agree based on 2 things. 1, he has more tools, and that's a fact. And 2, he's performed better in the major leagues in his shorter span, which was only last year when he got called up, than Baty ever has.
And a real clutch, tight spy. I mean, it wasn't like, hey, here's a week in June, Lindor went down.
Basically, it was, hey, our top star is down, step in. And he did. That's pressure, man. And he did it. And like I said, he has more tools than Baty does. In particular, I think his defense is better. He's got a lot more speed.
Yeah,
he's
George,
better for the team as a second baseman. I mean, let's be real. He fits the position, and he can run. So once you can run, you can make the fielders hurry and throw the ball and make a mistake. Baty can't do that. Baty has to get a hit. This guy can, like he said, more tools, and he can get a hit different ways. And you guys got to remember the other day when Lindor bunted. I mean, where's that part of the game?
Beautiful.
it's a wonderful thing to do when these idiots are playing you. You got your third baseman playing shortstop, and that whole side is wide open.
Soto
somebody
bluffs
like
once a game,
Acuña,
it feels like,
one little bunt, Acuña, you're on base. It's all about getting on base.
And then
Yeah,
you steal
That's all
second, the
it's
ball
about.
goes in the outfield, and you're on third base with Lindor,
Pass
Soto.
ball, he's on second base.
Exactly.
Wild pitch. Anything. It just makes a team more dynamic to have a guy like
It
that.
really does, yeah. And if I could just throw two random things in there real quick, because Rachi, you mentioned Soto. I really I watched him play against us for so long when he was on the Nationals, but these 12 games, not even including the spring training, these 12 games, his approach at the plate is like nothing I've ever seen. It's so fun to watch, and I can't wait to see the success he's going to have as a Met. And the second thing I want to throw out there is, hi, Mama Farace. Hugs. I love you.
Acuña. Because you said Acura at first. George had an autocorrect moment. Acura, Acuña. So all right.
Much judgmental Met fans.
So we're fully admitting here that that Baty is kind of blowing his second opportunity in a row, and not only that, he's also tremendously devaluating himself. He's losing trade value.
You already want to trade him. See how you are?
Well, no. I'm saying no, because but look at the. I mean, you just look at what's around you. You got guys that are in the minor leagues. You still got McNeil. You got Mauricio and all Jet Williams and all these guys that down in the minor leagues. Baty's under the microscope now. He's got the spotlight. He's got the little kid's got the magnifying glass right now. The sun is beaming down on him, and he's almost out of time.
He's
young, obviously.
I lost faith in him.
There's a lot of tradable guys on this squad, so he could be the guy.
I feel we've been like this. I know we joke around about it, and now we're calling him Dom Baty and Brett Smith or whatever.
You are.
But I think that plays a little hand in some of the stuff that's been said about Baty. Producer Joe hates him, but I think that's some of it. He does, most people. But I do think that has weighed upon some Met fans a little bit more heavily than others, that we waited for Dom Smith. And then that shortened season, he hit like 320, and we were like, all right, click, it's on.
The best part of Dom Smith is when he ran out on the field on his little scooter when he was hurt. But should we talk about what
he didn't have a position, though. He didn't really have a position because Alonso was at first, period. So, but Dom Smith really didn't have a position, and he wasn't an outfielder. He's a first baseman through and through, and that's all there is to it. Baty, at least you could put him in the outfield or something, and let him bulk up and try to become a power hitter or make himself more valuable somehow. But
on the Mariners,
this whole second base thing to me just seems like desperate. When you got
Baty's
Acuña right there.
Should we talk about what Joe really loves?
Picture Baty. Hold on, just for a second. Just picture Baty in a Mariner uniform. It fits him perfectly.
It does. Go away. But should we talk about what Joe really loves about Dom Smith? His favorite thing about him?
No.
We'll wait till Joe comes back. We'll talk about that.
No.
I don't think.
Weird.
I don't think Joe would.
It is weird.
I mean, he's behind the wall for a reason when he does the show.
Calls him Dong Smith.
You said it.
What?
A couple of things that are going on that are nice to see outside of the Mets is that the Atlanta Braves are 2-8. We like to see that around these parts. So that's a good thing. And then I don't know. I feel like the series against the Blue Jays, we really showed. The pitching really was our big. It has been for the 12 games, but through that specific series, because they have a very, very good 1 through 4 also, and then scattered down beneath them, and they were really able to come up with a handful of runs.
They're top American League East team, so
and a little bit more impact there. Vladdy Jr. signs the extension with the Blue Jays. And I know there have been chatter. Well, wait. There have been chatter about him being signed by the Mets had Pete gone or trade that kind of thing. But so it's 14 years, 500 million. I think I read that $325 million of it is a sign-in bonus.
Really?
And the rest is going to be paid in salary.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
So
Everybody's all these shenanigans with these contracts going on, and we're just like, here, we're going to straight up pay you, Juan.
Let me just throw this hypothetical out there. Do you think that kind of deal would have happened with Vladdy if Boris was his agent?
No, I think he would have went to free agency.
So dangerous because Pete took that gamble and it flopped.
Yeah.
Pete right now would be so better with that 150 million, whatever it was that the Mets offered him originally. But I think that was before Stern came in, right?
Yeah, Stern's the guy that said, let's put a break on these nonsense contracts here. And then he goes and he spends $700 million for Soto. But I mean, you know, Pete's still getting paid fairly well, right? How's it much?
30,
Isn't
30
he making
million.
30-something million this year?
30 or 31.
30. I mean, that's not bad.
But it's only guaranteed 55 million.
Only.
Where Vladdy's getting guaranteed 500 million.
Great.
Listen,
well,
Vladdy's a better hitter than Pete Alonso. I don't know if you guys have realized that, but Vladdy's a better hitter than Alonso.
Well, he's more rounded hitter. Yeah,
and he won a Gold Glove.
It's average. He hits.
So you know,
yeah,
he's worth more. He's worth more than Pete Alonso. Not to us, not to me as a Met fan, because I love Alonso and he's a homer. But if I look at just stats, I'm gonna pick Vladdy every single time.
For our
and
team,
he's younger, and he's 5 years younger.
Yeah,
Alonso's the best choice for our team for the next few years, for sure.
Yeah, Alonso can be who he is on this team right now because the Mets have guys that are coming up that can cover for him. You know, guys that'll be hitters, guys that have some pop, Vientos. You know, don't forget that Mauricio's the one that's going to send Baty back to the minors.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as Mauricio's ready, and it's not going to be long, when he's ready to go, if Baty keeps this nonsense up, he's gone. He's back to the minors because they're not going to keep a guy hitting 093. You know, when you got basically a young stud right there waiting. You know, so
well, McNeil's coming back too. Somebody's going to have to go down.
McNeil, that's true.
And at first I was like, I don't even miss McNeil, but right now I would love his veteran bat in that lineup.
Which one, the golf bat or the actual baseball bat?
Top Golf.
Which one do you want him to have?
The Top Golf.
Top golf, baby.
No, Top Golf is fake. That's not the
one. If he does Top Golf, he's got to be a lot more like Happy Gilmore and a lot less like Jeff McNeil.
A lot more like Happy Gilmore. Yes. I know, for sure.
Please. All right. And nothing else really stands out around everything else. Looks like it's panning out. Cubs are in first place for the first
cool. Good show then.
Game.
Care, guys. Oh wait, sorry.
relax. The National League West is out of control. The top 3 teams have 29 wins combined. Padres
he's trying to line up his betting thing. You know that.
Over unders,
that's all
baby.
he's doing right now, thinking about
this is the degenerate part of the show. Go ahead, Farace. Take it away.
It's not. We're looking around the National League. God damn it. Giants 9-3, Dodgers 10-4.
What's the over under in the Dodgers?
Victory is 101.
See?
You see? I don't know why I know that off the top of my head, but
why? I wonder why.
That's why we need producer Joe here, so that way it's 2-2. Right now it's 2-1.
Oh my god. All right. Where is producer Joe? What is he doing, and why is he not here? Watching Titanic.
Generate gambling.
He's doing the over under on how many inches were left on the door for him to jump on. Just be there.
What?
They killed my boy at the end. He had plenty of, over under on the amount of lives that could have been saved on that little door frame that the girl was on at the end.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Titanic. I said he's watching Titanic.
Oh, that little freaking greedy woman. There was so much space.
That's what I'm saying. Over under on lives that could have been saved on there. 3. Could have brought Jack up there. Could have brought one more person. 2.5. 2.5.
Now with Joe on it.
How could she have just let the biggest
What a
cradle
song.
robbing actor of our time die like that?
Yeah.
Wait, what show are we on again?
I don't know what he's talking
How about them Knicks, baby?
He's trying to deflect.
The Knicks playoffs starting soon. Carmelo Anthony, first ballot Hall of Famer. Like it.
Yeah.
Going in.
Okay, as a Knick, I hope.
I don't see any other way around it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we dealt with all of his garbage for so many years.
I saw him in Vegas, and I was walking right behind him, dude. I was like up to his shoulder, like his shoulder was here. It was like unreal.
But I'm gonna punch him in the face. Hey,
I
Carmelo.
couldn't reach.
Hey, Melo.
I'm a Knicks fan. Great job.
Too tall.
Yeah.
What's going on with Minaya? That's what I'm trying to look at. Minaya.
So he had a setback. I saw an interview with Mendy 2 days ago.
Yeah, but then they gave him the injection.
They gave him the injection, but Mendy said now he's back to stage 1 of rehab.
Yeah, they gave him a guaranteed contract. That's what happened.
So
A
basically,
guaranteed contract. He's got an oblique issue now.
Yes, pretty much. So at least 6 weeks more.
Yeah, All-Star break.
What? I see 2 weeks. Wait.
All-Star break. You know.
All right,
it's the
All-Star break.
All-Star
Right.
Well,
Well, yeah,
Mendy said 2 days
that'll
ago
be
he's
good.
back to day 1 of rehab. When it first happened was
this is
6
getting
weeks.
dreary. This is getting dreary.
Yeah, you got Trevor Bauer out there making nothing.
Oh,
You got Trevor Bauer out there making nothing with no
Bauer.
oblique issues, right?
I
Making
want
no
some
salary.
power to throw
Come
some
on.
power.
Bauer.
He's got some spin rate.
Come on, man.
Bauer.
Come on. He could make this team even more crazy, even more fun, more obnoxious.
Why not?
Be great.
All right, let's look
I
and
don't
see
know
what's
if
going
he was
on.
Lovable as like Winker though, but I would.
Oh,
love
what a
his-
game by Winker, bro! Two triples and a
triples.
double.
What?
He's a bench guy.
They,
Relax.
they asked Lindor in the after the thing afterwards. What is it called? Little interview, that thing that they do on the field. If they realized that Winker was as fast as he was, he says, "I don't know, we're gonna have to go talk about that." But
That was the first triple he had in like what 4 years or.
Two of them
and then
things.
he had a second
He's
one in the
fast
same
compared to Steve Gelbs.
game. Listen,
You know.
don't mess around with my hot dog my hot chocolate peddler. Excuse me.
you're
What?
Peddler.
Yes.
I heard pet alert. I was like, what happened
Wait.
there? Did you hear
What
pet
the-
alert too?
Well,
I said
I
peddler.
heard pet something. I was weird.
I said
Pet
hot
cemetery.
chocolate peddler.
Peddler, yes.
Pet peddler. Okay. That word's not used much anymore.
No.
Well, I'm old. You know, drug
It's-
peddler. He's a pusher. It's the pusher, man.
Pusher.
Better the
that's-
pusher than the pushy.
I know
all right.
I can recite the song from Steppenwolf, The Pusher. That's how old I am.
That's not for the show though. We're gonna push ahead
Next,
here, and well, no, we're gonna talk
he's
about
so
the road,
clever.
the road ahead, the road ahead. We got a day off tomorrow, fellas. No game tomorrow. Mets after that 5-1
okay,
homestand.
they are.
Get a day off. Woosah.
They should have to play when they lose.
Suffer.
Get out there and play anyway.
Get out there and play.
All right, we
Loser.
make our first visit. We're gonna sell out the house in Sacramento. 3,500 people in the minor league
Woo.
stadium that we're gonna go play in. Starting on Friday night is a 10 o'clock start. We need to start watching baseball at 10 o'clock on a Friday in a minor league stadium with Juan Soto and Lindor at the top of our lineups. I don't know if Sevy's going to be pitching against us. I'll see if I can take a look at that. But the A's are 5-8 right now.
They can be dangerous. I mean, they can play well. So I hope Severino gets rocked. I mean, like smoked, like 10-1. I have no heart for him.
All right. Well, so here's the way that the pitching is looking right now. First Friday night's game is Canning, 0-1, 2.79 ERA against Sears, who we all know and love from fantasy baseball. 1-1, 3.46 ERA. Saturday, we got David Peterson going on the mound for the Mets. So TBD for the A's. Peterson 1-0, 2.53 ERA. And then on Sunday, loving these ERAs. Sunday, Mr. Senga. It's a 4.05 start. Senga 1-1, a 1.80 ERA versus the aforementioned Luis Severino 0-2.
ERAs are beautiful.
A 4.74 ERA right in the early going for Severino. What do we got here, fellas?
It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up on Sunday. It's gonna go up at least another run.
That's not a threat. That's a spoiler.
No, that's not a threat. That's a promise. You know, unless all of a sudden he developed into what he used to be with the Skankies when he first came up. I doubt that. You know, so it's gonna go up real quick.
What do we got here? We got 2 out of 3. We got a sweep.
Minimum 2 out of 3, because they have to beat teams like that. It's just part of the game. They have to beat these guys. They can't go soft on them. So they minimum 2 out of 3. Possible if they win the first 2, it's a sweep.
They're gonna take Severino to Pound Town is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, not in a good way. He's not gonna like it. It's gonna hurt.
Well,
in a bad way.
Look at by the way, the Mets are gonna go from whatever shit show that they had last night and today with that weather to Sacramento Friday 81. Although the low is 49. How does that work for that? It's gonna get a little chilly at night. But Saturday 79, Sunday 85. Look at that. They're gonna be treated to some nice weather out there. Keith, what do you got for that series?
I got 2 out of 3. I think we're gonna break out offensively. From what I'm hearing, that place is a bandbox. They're really just the ball's flying out of that park.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if there's a wind thing or
Vientos.
the park plays small, but I think we're going to break out offensively. Right, Rodriguez. I think we're going to see some folks that have not been hitting start hitting. Hopefully, it's Vientos, because I think Vientos and Nimmo are really, really key to this offense. And I'll argue even in some cases more than the top 3 in the lineup. They're really key to this offense. So I'm hoping to see them break out. But I'm also skeptical because of how this offense has started. They will break out. I just don't know when. So I'm saying 2 out of 3 instead of a sweep.
All right. I'm going to go 2 out of 3 also. Traveling across the country, 2 out of 3. We like it. We'll take series win after series win.
Sleeping on that big plane and in that gorgeous hotel room and being massaged by all the trainers is such a horrible existence. Oh, so tiring.
A little bit of saltiness here on the
Poor guys.
All right, and then on the way back home, we make a little pit stop at a 3-game set in Minnesota. Play the Twins there, 3-8. It's the second year in a row. Could we be home for Jackie Robinson Day? Jackie Robinson Day is on.
Yeah, we should be home for Jackie Robinson Day. I don't know why we're not home. If any team should be home, we should be home.
Look at the stadium. Keith, move your head. Look at the stadium. Jackie played there. In a different version.
It was built for Jackie Robinson.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that a bird?
Ridiculous. I don't know.
No, that was my Met blanket.
Oh, okay.
There was a bird.
The bird is don't do that.
Keep doing that. That's really funny.
And all right, listen. The Twins are 3-8 to begin next year. We got a pigeon roaming around. What?
It's an Italian pigeon. Eats a lot of pasta.
The only guy who is set as far as pitching is concerned for that series against the Twins is Clay Holmes on Monday, and then everything else for both sides is to be determined. 7:40 Monday, 7:40 Tuesday, 1:10 on Wednesday. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna sweep these mofos.
Yeah, sweep the Twins.
Sweep the Twinsies. 3-8. They're let's see what we got going on here.
See, that worries me when a team is 3-8, but they're really kind of a good team.
But they've scored 38 runs and their run differential is -15.
Okay. Let's look at our
Not-
batting average for the year so far. Is that
Well,
what we should be judged by?
Our run differential is plus 13. That's a whole lot better than
I know,
mine
but
is.
they're a better team than that, is what I'm saying. We're a better team than our batting average. And when we face a team who's 3-8, who should be a better team, it worries me a little, is all I'm saying. Because
it's
they
a
may break
fair
out.
worry, Karachi. He's kind of right, but 2 out of 3 at least, I think, with the Twins, especially the way they are now. For me, my thought. Well, we're winning 5 games from this
Harrison
road trip, 4 to 5
Bader.
games either
Harrison
way.
Bader is their leading hitter. 300. He's got three bombs so far. 10 RBI.
12
Dude,
games, Raj.
I'm not worried about Harrison Bader.
No.
If we go to a series and we're worried about Harrison Bader, we got a lot more things to worry about. If they can't pitch to crop top, the guy wears crop tops, for goodness sake. You know those old 1970s crop tops that the girls used to wear? He wears that all the time. He wore that as a
like
wrong with you?
Ezekiel Elliott.
They're a potential ringer, but I am taking
Ezekiel
2
Elliott.
out of 2.
Yeah,
I am taking 2
cowboy.
out.
The good thing for us is that their ace is down. He's on my fantasy team, so of course he's hurt. So that's Pablo Lopez that used to play for the Marlins. He's out, and he's their pitching staff
right?
are an oblique, which is the worst.
He has an oblique. I thought.
Yes, all these jerks with their obliques.
Rodriguez, what do you think about pitchers that are out of the lineup with obliques?
Well, I mean,
don't get him started.
We can go to the next segment if it's okay.
Yeah, let's not, because it's like players that play golf. You know, that's how I feel about them. That's how I feel pitchers with obliques.
I think all that is enough.
Come on.
Their pitchers ERAs from the 2 spot down, 409, 559, 450, and 1215.
Perfect. Sounds like a perfect time to break out of a slump.
And here's this part too. Their batting average against their number 2 guys 244, which is above our average. And then the next 3 guys 333, 333, and 355. So early on, that's through the starter too.
Yeah, but really,
so you said 2 out of 3.
Our starters, we're doing great with them, but let's not get too Metsy on it and get too carried away. They're not the cream of the crop out there, so we have to start hitting soon. You know, we have to take advantage of that 2-point-something ERA that we have right now and really use it up and get as many wins as we can. It's important, especially with they're journeymen. They're journeymen that are playing really well, that are pitching really well. You know, converted reliever to a starter. Senga coming off an injury. Canning, journeyman. You know, Peterson maybe coming into his own. Tylor, 3-inning. McGill. You know, those you got guys like that. So, you know, we have to start hitting. So let's not get too carried away. But it's a good team to get when you're in a slump.
Can we do that for us real quick? I know we're up against time-wise, but can we just kind of go through the starting rotation and our quick thoughts on each person?
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you want me to start, I mean, who's the first starter? Is it Senga? Let's say Senga.
Yeah, let's say Senga. Let's not say Clay Holmes.
He's been good. I have no issues with Senga. I'm not sure if he's ace material, but he's been good. But I'm just going to throw this question out to you guys. Where do you see him in October in terms of innings pitched? Can he go further? Will he be able to perform under that duress of time and innings pitched? Farace?
I think so, but I think the plan is going to be to sneak a 6-man in there every now and then and that's the case with all the Asian pitchers who've come over. They're kind of throwing in extra starters in there to give them the 6-day rest because that's what they get there. And you know he's bouncing back from a year that he did not pitch much at all last year. But in my mind, I remember everything that happened in his rookie season here, and I watch his pitches and I watch his movement, and I don't see why he won't be our ace. His stuff is that good. Last year, when he came back from the arm thing, he pitched 6 innings, pitched well, and then he hurt his calf. And then when he came back, I
laughed because the face he made in the playoffs with that
the Lindor thing.
Yeah.
It was just that crazy situation of getting thrown back out there, and now hey, go pitch against the Dodgers.
No, and I didn't fault him for that at all. But what do you think, Rodriguez, in terms of his longevity, getting into the playoffs?
Yeah, I almost agree with Farace. I think that as he pitches more this year and gets back into form, and his velocity is going to pick up, and he's going to get a feel for the ball again. Japanese guys pitch a lot, dude. Even though they only pitch once a week, they throw. And every time he's in the dugout, he's working on his mechanics. He's looking for little things here, looking for little. You could see that the guy is a thinker as well as an athlete. So, yeah. I mean, his forkball, his ghost ball, that's nasty, dude. It's like a knuckleball in a way, but with speed, like a good fast knuckleball that just drops out of nowhere. And if he starts throwing 95 to 97 again, and by the end of the year, barring no injuries, and he's healthy, he's gonna be a lot better. And he has ace potential, because he's a good solid pitcher.
Yeah, he was
I mean,
Roy, wasn't he, Roy?
I don't think he won Rookie of the Year. I don't think he did, no. But he's very talented. He's a good pitcher. So, if he's not injured, he'll be good he'll be very good by the end of the year.
So then Clay Holmes, another project. He was a bullpen guy. He started early in his career with Pittsburgh, and now he's with the Mets, and we hired him as a starter. We took it as a proclamation project where we're going to use our clinic to make him a starter again. Had an amazing spring. He's coming back now. Had a little bit of a rough start. Came back with 10 strikeouts in his last start. What do you guys think about him? Farace.
I see no reason why the Mets shied away from the same thing with Seth Lugo. No, you're pen, you're in the pen. Don't want to make you a starter. He obviously wants to be a starter because he wants to get starter pay, and then he goes to be a starter, and he's second in all of baseball in innings pitched.
Such a good point. We did like a reverse Lugo on him.
Right. So I think not that I think, I know I trust this Mets regime to if there's a team out there that can do it and convert, and you see some early signs of it working out, I think he's going to wind up being a bargain for us.
What do you think, Rodriguez?
He's throwing 5 innings already. He's throwing more innings than Tyler McGill, who's supposed to be a starter. Okay, and the thing, and I still take offense with that Lugo thing. Lugo choked a lot of times. It wasn't on the Mets. I don't blame the Mets at all. I blame Lugo. He didn't perform when he had to. But Clay Holmes at 5 innings now, he's striking out 10 guys, and his changeup, and he's got 3 pitches, and and he's got to learn to be a starter and pace himself, and also learn how to pitch, not just come up for an inning or 2 and throw your best pitches as hard as you can and let them fall where they may. He has to be a little bit smarter. And I think with Alvarez coming back, which is important, don't forget that Alvarez coming back last year was really good for our pitching staff. Huge. And when he comes back again this year, he's going to be good for our pitching staff again. He does a really good job of managing pitchers. Even though I don't like the way he catches, but he does a good job of managing pitchers.
He doesn't throw.
He's gonna make the ball better.
News. I've been asking around even the little leagues and everything. That's how they're teaching catching now.
I know.
And when I go to these games now, my son, and I watch it, it drives the parents nuts because it takes you forever to get back up. And then, especially there, because it's a chain link fence and there's no give to it. So it just stays there. But that's how they're teaching it. And, you know what it's about. It's about keeping them healthier and not having knee issues and Achilles issues. No. And it's about protecting the bottom line.
Listen, at the end, there's a way to use that when you're a catcher. Okay. When there's nobody on base. when you have just one guy on, and you kind of have to be smart when the guy that's batting is not a super fast guy that can lay down a bunt, but they don't bunt anymore, so that's kind of moved. But when there's no man on base, it's a lot easier. So
A lot of shots being taken there.
I don't like it. I don't like it, and it's not good. It's not good for the game. It's not good for defense. It doesn't help the pitcher at all. It's if it's that, then put the little thing on the back of their knees, like we used to have. The knee savers. Give them the knee savers if they're worried about that. If the major leaguers can't handle catching anymore, and that's fine. It's tough. I've done it. Give them the knee savers. That they don't have to. It's like almost like sitting down, and they don't have to be on one knee. But if you watch Alvarez, he doesn't play good defense when he's like that. Jumping out at the ball and snagging it doesn't mean you're playing good defense. Block, it's not easy to block. It's just not good.
God rest Gary Carter. His knees were bad, but even when his knees were bad, he he plays some defense. So since we don't have a lot of time, Farace, if it's okay, I'm going to ask one more pitcher that I feel. Because if we go through every pitcher, we'll be on the show for like 3 hours. Tyler McGill, to me, he's a big wild card because he has.
That was just for Rodriguez.
he has flash signs of like, wow, this guy could do something. And then he comes back and reminds us of what we fear about him when he comes out to pitch. That is the lack of control. That is getting a lot of runners on base. And he did that today. And granted, he got out of a lot of those jams, but ideally we don't want those runners on base because when we're getting out of those jams against the Marlins, that's one thing. But we're not going to get out of those jams against the Phillies, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Cubs, even the Diamondbacks. It's something that's a concern. So what do you guys think about Taylor? Is the real Taylor the one we've seen prior today where he's pitching and doing well and getting out of jams? Or are we going to see him walk the bases loaded and put us in a really bad situation of letting up a lot of runs?
Rodriguez, you take this one.
What has Taylor been up to now? There's your answer.
If we're looking at today, dude,
the guy pitches like a coward. Okay, the reason the Mets pitchers are winning is because they're being aggressive. And if you listen to Carlos Mendoza and all his press conferences, everything he's talking about is being aggressive. Okay, pushing the envelope, taking the chance. Being offensive in a way. Our pitching staff was more offensive than our offense. I mean, they're coming after guys. If Taylor at 6'5", 6'6", whatever he is, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, shies away from pitching to guys and throws corner balls or throws a ball high, it doesn't. Dude, just come at these guys. You don't have to throw it down the middle, but there's a big strike zone. There's a strike zone. Move the ball around the strike zone, but throw it in the strike zone. Don't be so scared of these guys. Get ahead of them and then throw the ball in the dirt. Push them back. Throw the ball inside. Make them jump back. Make them fall. Do anything. You're like, I think he changed his pitching delivery where he's maybe even closer to the plate now. So when you're at the plate batting and you got a 6'6" guy coming at you, and then he feels even closer and he releases the ball maybe an inch or two, maybe even 3 inches closer, it makes a huge difference. Dude,
you know what? If I could just jump in real quick, Rodriguez, if he would just in every 4 or 5 batters throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball over somebody's head, he would scare these batters. What do you think Randy Johnson did? This guy, inside. You're right. To your point, this guy is huge.
If you're scared to pitch inside. That'll help you.
Rodriguez, the staff as a whole has been, I think, doing a better job pitching inside. That's today,
what I'm saying. That's why they're successful.
Question, because I didn't see it, but I saw about it afterwards. So I know that he walked the first 2 guys on 8 pitches. Did Hefner come out and talk to him? Because then he struck out the next 3 or got the next 3. I was just curious.
I was listening on the radio. I didn't hear any of that.
All right, because
I don't know Rodriguez.
But see, that's the problem right there.
and that's where you get your 30 pitches.
You walk guys. A walk is terrible. Why is Soto so good? Because he takes a walk. He gets a hit, then he takes a walk. So he's on base, like 700% of the time. He's on base somehow, some way. If he gets 2 hits and he gets up 4 times, he'll get on base once by walking. He's on base all the time. You lose games by letting people get on base. Tyler, man, just throw the strikes, even if they hit you. That's what you got 8 guys out there for.
So if I could sum up what you're saying in a couple of words is, Tyler, have some balls.
And not throw any.
Look at Pedro Martinez. Just do what Pedro Martinez did. He's 5
Pedro
foot
Martinez is a beast.
and he wasn't scared of anybody.
I love Pedro Martinez so much. And he wasn't even a big guy, but he didn't care. He would throw it at you and be like, bring it. He was
First of all, Pedro Martinez had no business throwing as hard as he did with that skinny twig body of his.
I love Pedro Martinez.
He whipped it, dude. He whipped
it's
it.
It's like somebody else that somebody no longer respects or likes. Skinnier guy.
I didn't like Martinez when he played for the Red Sox and Expos, but
don't do it.
In retirement, I love Pedro Martinez. What an amazing competitor.
I loved him as a Met. And in typical Met fashion, we said that we overpaid for Pedro.
I always respected him, but I loved him as
sprinklers. Come on. I enjoy Pedro's time as a Met. I know I got hurt there. But
thank you for letting me grab that segment real quick.
He was good.
Grab these. What? All right. Well,
grab these.
I do want to say a special. Well, let me say this for the way out. Keith, we already did yours. No, I'm kidding. Keith, what you got here on the way out?
I started with my ending, you mean?
Yes. That's it.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
No, so I was like, no, I'm just kidding. What's your real thoughts here on the way out?
Oh, on the way out, I think we're gonna have an amazing season. I think where we started now compared to where we started last year is spectacular. If you told me, and I know this is something that's said a lot, but it's really true. If you told me, hey, you're going to be 8-4 after 12 games, I would have paid for that. So yeah, the Mets are doing really great. We're starting out really great. The fact that the Braves have started so slow has really boosted us. And now we really just need to look at the Phillies and just make sure we keep up with them or get ahead of them. Never behind. Let's go Mets.
Yeah,
never behind.
We had first place for a moment.
I don't want to talk about that shit. Today's game was miserable. It was horrible. I purposely.
All right, let's keep it on the positive.
Let's go.
That was you. You started every series.
I said we were tied for first.
No, you started because
trade Soto, DFA Baty. Let's go.
So what's he gonna do? Jump on that bandwagon real quick and start being upset. You upset him. It's on you.
I said we were tied for first.
Don't try to blame him. It was you who did it.
Listen, Menendez is a horrible manager. Soto needs to be traded.
Lyle?
Lindor needs to be DFA'd.
Fernandez. Who's Fernandez?
Who's Fernandez?
I said Menendez.
Oh, okay.
I said Lyle.
Listen, a series at a time, okay? Let's just take a series at a time, win every series, and we'll be fine. We're doing that. Except for the first series, we won every other series, so we're good. Let's just keep going. Take the series from Oakland, take the series from Minnesota, come back home and stomp some people. Just let the offense pick up, and Tyler, like Keith said, have some balls.
Some howls. All right, me on the way out. First of all, we only lost the Astro series because it was their 1, 2, and 3 versus our 3, 4, and 5. Let's just get that straight.
We lost anyway.
That's what exactly. That's number one. Number two, to all the nasty skanky fans out there. To all the nasty skanky fans out there, this excludes Timmy. You guys were talking.
No, he's a good skanky fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Good one.
You guys were talking so much shit in the first series of the year when you guys were scoring 1 billion runs off the Brewers, who also gave up 12 runs the next game to the Royals. And the Mets now, the Mets now have the better record. The Mets, you guys lost 3 straight games. You only have Aaron Judge, and that's all that you got. And then you had the nerve to be posting stuff like Soto who? Really? Because if you look at last year,
this one,
nuts.
Volpe's better than Lindor. I
Get
saw
out
that
of
one.
What are we doing? Volpe's the reason for the torpedo bats because that. Listen, I whatever. There's no rules against torpedo bats. I don't care if the whole world uses it.
It's a
but
loaded bat. It's a loaded.
It's not loaded. It's just.
Well, Lindor uses it too, so let's be careful.
I'm not.
Bat,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's legal, and it's physics, right? And the guy who developed it is from MIT, worked for the Yankees, and now works for the Marlins. Rodriguez, he sits in the dugout every day while we talk about this on Facebook and YouTube, and he's out there in the dugout. But anyway,
and he's still a douche.
Yeah, so
still a cheater.
He's getting a lot of money. But regardless of that, don't come out and say we developed. Volpe was the first guy who used it, or whatever the case may be, because he was hitting it too far to the label. Well, stop getting jammed, asshole.
Dude, become a better player. How about that? Why don't
Choke
we just give
up.
Major
Step out of
Leaguers
the
metal bats now?
Step to the back of the box. Step to the inside of the
People
box.
would die, Rodriguez. Pitchers would die.
No, let's give them metal bats. You give
They'll
them
go 157 miles an hour.
Bats. Why don't you just bring back Sammy Sosa's cork bat and give it to everybody?
You mean Howard Johnson's cork bat?
He never corked a bat.
He never did, but he was always accused of it.
No, don't talk about Farace's,
father. That's my favorite player back then.
That was his steppy.
All right, wait. I'm not done. Okay, so that's the Yankees thing. And finally, I want everybody to do this along with me.
Bet on the Mets.
It felt so great to do this. It was one of the best feelings I've ever experienced in my life.
I'm not singing.
Don't do it. I blocked Frank the Tank on every social media. I don't want to see none of his videos this year. Dude. I don't want to hear his stupidity. I don't want to see him bending his glasses. I don't want him with his belt that comes up to here while his pants are at his waist. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see it no more, and I'm done. If I see him in a video, I don't want to see this no more.
Huevos. I mean, how do you put your pants? I mean, that yeah.
You think he's ever used them for anything but taking a crap? I think he craps through his penis. That guy.
Oh, wow. When you said that, all these type of vigils tried to start penetrating my brain, and I shut it down.
I'm surprised he's alive. The way he flips out over everything, you know. And he's a Dolphin fan.
Yeah.
Oh, his whole life.
Which is the best, because you know how many times, but some of the Dolphin fans, they don't know this guy. So you know how many Dolphin fans have sent me video of this jackass in the Mets gear, and then I fucking send him right back the Dolphins gear. Don't come at me. This guy's a menace. Ban him from sports. He's got to be gone.
You know, for anybody who criticizes that, Farace was once in the Dolphins locker room interviewing Dolphins.
Yes, I was, and thankfully, Frank the Tank was.
That's because he likes naked men. Has nothing to do with being a Dolphin fan.
All right. On that note,
he loves Don.
I'm giving you props, Farace. Stop laughing at yourself.
I know. I'm understanding.
I love you, baby.
Here, I love you too, buddy. All right. On that note, that does it for us this week. Hopefully next week we'll have a producer. I don't know what's going on. He's buried somewhere. Maybe he's on Dateline NBC somewhere.
He's with Frank.
Figure out what's going on.
Oh,
that would make sense.
They're hanging out.
That would make sense. We'll keep you updated on everything that's going on with the Mets in the Facebook group, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on your sister's ass. Peace out, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.